Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Perfectionism Project, a podcast full of perfectionism advice for entrepreneurs. My name is Sam Laura Brown. I help entrepreneurs release their perfectionism handbrake so they can get out of their own way and build a fulfilling and profitable business. I'm the founder of the Perfectionists Getting Shit Done group coaching program, which is otherwise known as PGSD. And for even more perfectionism advice to help you with your business, you can follow me on Instagram at Perfectionism Project. Okay, so what you're going to hear today is an Instagram live that I did earlier this week, and it's about going for your business dreams and really just having the courage to go for it. So I want to invite you to listen in full. And also towards the end, there were questions getting asked about PGSD, Perfectionists Getting Shit Done. And so I answer those questions as well, because what we do in PGSD is support you to go for your business dreams and teach you how to take action towards your business dreams so they aren't just daydreams anymore. They're not just ideas that fizzle out. They actually come to life. That's what we do in PGSD. So I hope you enjoy listening. And also, I just want to give you a very clear invitation that I want to invite you into Perfectionists Getting Shit Done. And enrollment is closing. If you're listening to this at the time that it's being released, enrollment is closing in less than 36 hours at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, the 6th of Feb. You want to get yourself inside. You want to join PGSC. So your business dreams, you can actually go for them and not just be dreaming and scheming and planning to plan and getting ready to get ready, but actually going for it. And being all in on your business doesn't mean being all out of everything else. We have this fear as perfectionists of like, if I'm all in on my business, then I'm going to be neglecting my relationships or my health or my kids or my partner or my dog or my house or my body or whatever it is. But that's not what it means to be all in and really having the courage to go for your business dreams. You can take exceptional care of yourself and your business dreams at the same time. It's what we teach you in PGSD. So join us, samlaurabrown.com/PGSD. And I hope you enjoy this Instagram live replay. Okay, so I don't have notes. I just have conviction. I just have self-trust that I'm going to say exactly what you need to hear when you need to hear it. And I just want to talk about what has been coming up in the emails that I've been receiving, the DMs that I've been receiving about Perfectionists Getting Shit Done, which is my coaching program for perfectionist entrepreneurs, because this is so important to say. What we do in PGSD and like what I see myself as is someone who teaches you how to go for it. And if you have a business dream, which I'm going to assume you do if you're listening to this because I help perfectionist entrepreneurs. If you have a business dream and whether you've got started and already got things going in your business, you have decided on a business name, maybe you've got a social media account, like you've got the wheels going and you might feel like you're spinning your wheels, but like you've started doing things. Or if you're the person who you're like, I just want to go out on my own. I just want to be able to have a business. Like I was talking with a really good friend yesterday about this. Like if you're in this stage of, I really want to have my own thing and I'm just in the stages of getting started with that. Like I haven't gotten started, so to speak. Like I'm in the ideation. Like we help both of those kinds of people in PGSD. That there is something to be said for having the ability to just go for it, especially when you have a life that has kids or a full-time job or a health condition. Like everyone we help in PGSD has got stuff going on in their life. It's not like, well, you have nothing to do but twiddle your thumbs or work on your business. So here's how to go for it. It's like, no, it feels risky to go for it. And also it's so worth it to go for it. And you can get there, and we will support you fully to get there and to overcome the perfectionist hurdles that come up, and to build up your resilience and stay connected to your dream and stay connected to the possibility when your perfectionist brain, and like I have been feeling this during this launch week for PGSD, my perfectionist brain just loves freaking the fuck out and just being like, just hide, just go back to hiding. Like it just, all it wants me to do is retreat. And yet I will keep bringing myself back to connection and to my desire and to being the person who is up to something, being the person who is going for it, being the person who is doing a big, brave thing and building a business and start even just the act of deciding like I want to do my own thing. That is such a big, brave thing that so many people have the desire to do but never do because of the way that our perfectionist brains can just rationalize hiding, waiting, not putting in a full effort. And that the way it comes up is like, I have to make the right decisions. I have to make sure I'm smart about this and strategic about this, and that I'm really just like so responsible. Like our brain is just saying all of that because it is so scared that we won't be loved anymore if we go and do something big and brave and we fail at it. Or, and I've talked about this in the series I recently did on my podcast, if part of you being in business, as it was for me, part of that was me feeling like my most expressed version of myself, for me to show up and share. I primarily do my podcast, the Perfectionism Project. I'm also here on Instagram, but my podcast is the main place that I market my business. And it just felt, I didn't start with a podcast. Holy shit, no, that would be way too, way too scary for where I started. I just had such a debilitating level of perfectionism that I was blogging and just sharing links to other people's stuff. And that just felt terrifying to do. So I definitely didn't start with a podcast. But when I started my business, I felt like the most me I'd ever felt. And it felt so scary to fail at something that felt so me, which is coaching, which is like supporting, holding belief even when you aren't able to be in that, like really just like bringing you back again and again to the possibility, picking you up when you're down, like keeping you going, doing that in a way that's in alignment with who you want to be, with your values, with all of that. Like that's who I feel like I inherently am. And so when I started like wanting to have a coaching business and wanting to talk about personal development, that it felt so scary to potentially find out that like me being me isn't loved. And it felt more comfortable if I'd stayed in my accounting job, for example, and like continue with that. Even though it was unsatisfying in a lot of ways, it felt less vulnerable to fail as an accountant or like be pursuing that, because if I fail at it, it's like, well, I'm not really an accountant. Like I'd always say like I work in accounting. I'd never say like I'm an accountant, because it wasn't me. It like wasn't. I love numbers, but it just, I'm here to help, and I'm here to cheer, and I'm here to believe and shift thoughts, and like all of that. That feels like even before I knew coaching was a career, like that has felt like who I am. And so the thing that has been coming up when I've been getting these emails from people who are thinking about signing up for PGSD this week, and when I have been getting DMs is, and people will say things like, I can't, like, this is so for me, but I can't afford it. I don't know. Like someone said to me this morning, like, I'm launching a new business, so I don't know if I can afford PGSD. And I was like, you cannot afford not to be in PGSD. If you are launching a new business, your perfectionist brain, like it just presents so much opportunity. And I talked about this in the series as well, the personal development series, about like the inherent nature of business. Business is hard. Like you're doing something that requires lots of skill sets, lots of emotional capacity, Like there's a real willingness that needs to be there when you're building a business, because it is not easier than working for someone else. That you have to bring in the business, you have to deliver to it. Like you're all the departments, even with the team, like you're overseeing it all. And there is higher risk. That's why there is higher reward, because there is higher risk. It's not like, okay, working for someone else, if you were then to have a business, that's lower risk than working for someone else, but higher reward. Like emotionally, it is a risk. Emotionally, you are putting yourself on the line to feel feelings that you might not otherwise feel, and not to that degree. And so you want to have support in place. Like you want to have the tools, you want to have the, just like the community. We're about to release tomorrow an episode I did with Laura Miller, who's one of our PGSDers, all about the support in PGSD, the community aspect, the really just like how to use the PGSD community, whether you want to be active in it or a lurker, which you totally can be. You can be an anonymous lurker if you want to be. That how to use it to really stay connected to yourself, to your business, to your goals, to your dreams, to your week. So you want to have the support. And what I hear when someone who is really wanting to go for their dreams and saying they can't afford it, and if you can't afford it, you don't have to sign up. Like this isn't about me trying to convince anyone. But if you're going for your dreams and you want to get there and you're a perfectionist entrepreneur, you procrastinate, you overthink, you get in your own way. Like someone else I was talking to was saying, like, they just feel like they have to get all their ducks in a row before they do anything and it's holding them back. Like if that is you, then you can't afford not to be in PGSD. Whether you need to have a conversation with someone about how to get the money, whether you need to sell your couch or like get a credit card, or for a lot of PGSDers, there's money there. It's just in savings. It's like cordoned away for like, I'm being smart and responsible. And it feels emotionally risky to invest that money for fear of like, what if it doesn't work? And I just really, I get that. I get that so deeply. I have invested so much, like tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself. And the first of that was like investing $2,000, I think at the time, or $3,000 in my first coach. And that felt like such a risky thing to do. But I was like, but I can't afford not to get this help, because here I am with the strategy, with like knowing what to do. And I'm not able to get myself to do it. And I'm not able to get myself to do it consistently. I'm not able to get myself to do it without burning out. I'm not able to do it in a sustainable way. I also want someone who can help guide me through decision making and like making great decisions for myself and my business, and increasing my capacity in my life, and seeing thought errors and being able to help me correct them. And like I need that. Like for me, it was really at the point where I was like, it's not this nice to have thing. Like I knew for me that my dream of having my own business, even though like I'm the person, I was happy to work for someone else. I wasn't like, I could never be an employee. Happily, I could be an employee. Even to this day, I could happily be an employee. But I just had this restlessness once I heard about business and like what that could look like. And also that you could be a coach and like doing what I do. So in PTSD, we help all kinds of perfectionist entrepreneurs. The commonality is that you have a business really that like you really want to go for and means a lot to you. And it's scary. There's stuff that comes up, the visibility fears of like showing up and putting yourself out there and like putting in a full effort when it isn't guaranteed to work. That is all the stuff that we help with in PGSD. Yes, you learn the growth goal. Yes, you learn power planning. Yes, you learn how to get clean rest. Yes, you learn momentum decisions. Yes, you learn how to get that belief fuel and create belief fuel for yourself. Yes, you learn safe visibility. Those are all tools that really support you to be able to go fully for your dream, and like to really do that while taking great care of yourself and your life and your family and your health and everything else. Like those are the tools that support you to do that. Plus there's the coaching with me every single week, listening to everyone else who has a perfectionist brain and a business as well, getting coached on the exact struggle that you didn't even realize that you had until you heard someone else saying, you're like, holy fuck, that's me. And you got to get that coaching without even, and the belief shifts and the transformation and becoming someone new without even having to be on the call. Like you can just listen to it as you start your day. I feel like that's the best time. You can listen to it all day, every day though. I always like am surrounding myself with the beliefs that I want to have. It's all in PGSD designed to have you go for your dream, your business dreams, and not just like go for it and like it didn't work out, but that's okay. It's like there will be failures, there will be hiccups, there will be setbacks. Like there's no avoiding that. That is the game you are signing up for if you want your own business. That is the path. But do you want support on that path or do you want to go it alone? Like it's do you want do you want to be able to actually do it and keep putting one foot in front of the other or be a deer in the headlights every time you put effort into a post and no one likes it? It's just such an important piece of PGSD is that in PGSD, and Laura talks about this in the episode that's going out, it's the culture of courage that's inside PGSD that kind of like underpins everything that we're doing in PGSD. This culture of courage of just like everyone in PGSD is going for it. And that can bring up a lot of fear and a lot of doubt. And you don't want to be alone when you have that going on. And probably, like most of the people I've been emailing and DMing, like someone was just like, I don't have friends and family who are able to like fuel this belief for me. Like, I don't have, like, I really want the support and the community and like to have that environment, that culture of courage in my words and in Laura's words, actually. And like, I can't get that anywhere else. And I want that for myself so badly. And like, when I'm inviting you into PGSD, that is such an important piece of what I'm inviting you into. And it's not just like, learn this and that's it's like you learn so much, you master so much, but it's being able to be someone who is going for it and who is doing that while taking care of themselves and not as in like, okay, you have time to like take a bath or whatever, but like you take great care of your mind. You manage your thoughts, like you connect with the thoughts you have, you hold space for the feelings you're feeling, you're able to not like think positive. That's not what we're trying to do. You are able to move from a place while holding space for doubt. You're able to also connect into the dream that you have and the vision that you have. And even though your legs are shaking, you're able to take the next step and take the next step and take the next step. And to just, I just feel like you can't afford not to be in PGSD and like to just be able to be someone who is going for it is inherently inside everything that we do in PGSD. And I'm trying to think of like what's because I have so many examples and stories of this in my own life. Let me just think for a second. What's a good example of a story that I can share? Because I talk about this in the podcast series, like right at the beginning of my business, how I talked about it just then before, like I had this restlessness, like I knew I had to give my business a go. Like that idea was just never going to leave me alone. And it felt so scary to go for it. But I just, even though I was so scared of failing and like wasting effort on something that wasn't going to work and like people knowing that I was going for it, like that's part of the perfectionist thing. We want to look like the duck on the water. No one can, no one can see you. Like I'm really trying. Like it feels so vulnerable to like be trying hard, especially if you're someone and you've typically done well just by like not really trying. And like, yeah, I didn't even try my hardest and I got an A. Or you did try really hard. Like there are a lot of PGSDs who are like, I did study really hard, but you were doing it, you were trying hard at something that was already expected of you and you were expected to succeed within and could reasonably succeed within. Like if you were able to learn the concepts and like do the exam, then you could get the A plus. Like there's a lot more certainty in that. But to really be trying hard at something that genuinely might not pan out exactly how you want it to pan out, because that is the nature of business. That is what you are signing up for. It's not like, oh, the people who are failures, that's what happens. No, like everyone, every single person, that is what you are signing up for when you are signing up to do business. So it's really like having, I could just hear the doorbell going. So just, my brain is in two places at once. People are coming to look at our TV because there's an issue with it. Anyway, Steve's on that. So just really being like, when I think back to myself, that like I was really scared, and also I just knew I had to try, and I had tried doing it myself. Like I had tried just like having this quiet dream with myself of having this business and learning all the things from YouTube and podcasts, and like I'm a smart person and I like can learn a lot. And I intellectually understood so much. Like if anyone had said to me before I'd even made $1, like how would I make my first $100,000? 100% I could tell you exactly how to do it. But could I emotionally do it? Like, could I take those steps myself? No, my perfectionist brain was like, oh no, but we can't actually like go out and do that. And let's just learn more about it so that we can still feel productive. And so it was only once I was like, okay, I have to get, like, I can't afford. And I think for that coach, that first coach, I put it on a credit card. I didn't have the cash sitting there. And and this is one other thing too, that you have a business and it's so important. I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole for too long, but I think this is really important to say, that it's so important not to be in a mindset of my business needs to make money before I can invest in my business. It's so backwards. And we often just are in that mentality when we're really scared to go for it, that we're like, oh, well, my business isn't making enough for me to be able to afford the support that I need to be able to make more money. Like I have heard that in so many different ways from people this week of like, oh, my business isn't making enough income yet for me to be able to be in PGSE. Yeah, because your perfectionist brain is stopping you from doing what you know you need to do to make money. And so the way I think about it, and this is the case for almost every PGSD too, is I'm going to take the approach that I took in university. So I have a law degree personally and a finance degree and a diploma of French, because why not have an overflowing plate of stuff to do plus a job and all of that. And I wasn't like, I'm going to be a lawyer and that I'm going to use money from being a lawyer to get a law degree. And I wasn't like, I'm going to work in the world of finance and then I'm going to use that money to pay for my finance degree. I invested money from my job and put money on a credit card so that I could get the help that I needed to be able to actually go for it in my business, because I had gotten to the point where I was like, I just cannot afford to do this unsupported. Like I can just see I'm smart. Like I know I have potential, but like I haven't been able to get myself there. And I could give it more time, but like fundamentally, I don't have the tools I need, the thinking that I need to be able to get there. Like I keep getting stuck. I keep getting stopped. I keep getting in my own way, and learning more about strategy and like say this in an email subject line or like any of that strategy isn't going to help me, because my issue is that I am getting in my own way. Like I am the problem. It's me. And so once I was like, I had to have a conversation with Steve about it. And I remember like we were driving to the beach. It's about an hour away. And I was like, I'm thinking of signing up for a coach and like to get help. And with my business, because I had already invested in something that like taught me the how to of what I was trying to do, but I like couldn't get myself to follow the steps. And I was like, I want to work with someone who can help me to do the things I know I need to do. And I was like, it's about $2,000. And Steve was like, well, yeah, that's about one uni subject, the cost of a uni subject. And I was like, yeah, that is actually a really great way to think about it, instead of being like, oh my God, it's just like me investing in this thing that's so irresponsible. It's like, well, yeah, I did that. I'm willing to invest that in and like have a loan, which I'm paying interest on from the government, I'm willing to take out a loan to get a law degree and a finance degree. And yet here's this business that I'm so passionate about. And I know that I am always going to have this dream on my heart, no matter how hard I try to ignore it and how much I could just try and pretend it's not there and it's fine. And I'll just keep doing what is expected of me. Like I'm always going to have this there. Why wouldn't I invest the same, if not more, into my actual dream instead of just like the safe thing to do that I didn't really even want to do? And just that perspective shift, it's so important. Just because I've heard quite a few people this week say to me, like, I want to, but my business isn't making enough. Like, yeah, your business isn't yet going to be in a place to potentially fund this. You got to get resourceful. You got to pull it from your savings, put it on a credit card, sell your couch, have a conversation, like enroll your partner if you have like joint funds and you're like, oh, I couldn't use that. Like I have to use separate money. There's so many options, but I just think about, and a lot of PGSEs went to university, went to college, got a loan out for that. Like you got to take the same approach to business if we're talking about this is an actual career path profession. This isn't a hobby. And part of that hobby mentality that so many perfectionist entrepreneurs can end up in is just like, well, I'll treat it like it's a real thing once I'm making money. Like I'll take it seriously once it proves to me it's going to work. It just isn't going to happen. So you just have to be willing to invest first, and not just money. I'm not just talking about money, to invest time, to invest energy, even when you have hard circumstances. Like we are talking about doing a hard thing, and that is why you want the support. That is why you want the support. That is why you want to get yourself inside PGSD, because this is something that is the same way it was hard to get a law degree. Like with that creating a whole professional opportunity. And business, someone isn't laying out to you, no matter how much there is to learn about business. It's so great. We have so many ways to learn about how to build a business. But business doesn't work with this, like, if you do that, if you do this, then that will happen and then you'll be successful forevermore with not a hiccup. Like, that's just not even how we want to think about business. It's not like, oh, it's a shame it's not like that. Like, no, you want to be someone. I've talked about this too with our PGSD, is like, you're someone who loves a challenge. Like if I was in a day job where I'm not being challenged, and it's different if I'm in, and I want to talk about this too, if you're in a day job, and for me, like I had a job as a hospital receptionist intentionally so that that wouldn't take up a lot of my mental energy or like emotional energy, so I could have the courage and capacity, more of that for my business. So you can intentionally choose to take a job or approach a job in a way where you're like, I don't want to challenge myself. Even in my accounting job, I was like, I'm not trying to like get my chartered accountant stuff. Like I'm just going to push that off for as long as I possibly can, because I want all of my energy to go into my business. I'm still going to do my job on my train into work, which is like a 33-minute commute. I had my laptop. I was sitting there on my laptop writing blog posts, and like I'd wake up early to spend time, and it was hard to do it, but I would wake up early and spend time on my business before I went to my job. And then I'd work on the train writing stuff, and then I'd go to my job, and then on my lunch break I'd do my workout. That was hard as well. And then I'd finish up, and then I'd write stuff on the way home. And then I'd also spend the whole weekend. I said no to, and I'm not saying you have to say no to stuff. You figure it out. But I was like, I really want this so badly that I'm willing to say no to parties and to like things like that, because I just really want to go for this dream. I have this dream and I just want to go for it. And I just like building that momentum. It takes effort and it takes willingness. And so anyway, I wasn't in this situation of like, I need to have my business make money before I can go all in on it. And that thinking, like there's a perfectionist, one of the ways the perfectionist brain works is that there's this fear of wasting effort, because effort is a sign of inadequacy, which means there's a fear of going for something that is not guaranteed to work. And that is inherently the nature of business, that it's not guaranteed to work. That doesn't mean it won't work, but it means you're signing up for a path that has more uncertainty than an employment path would have. And so you've got to have support for that. Like, that makes such a difference to have that support there. But it's really just connecting with and just understanding that your perfectionist brain is not going to want to put effort in to something that isn't guaranteed to work. It wants the certainty that I'm going to be successful and therefore loved. And it will have all kinds of great justifications to get you hiding back in the cave. We just need to do more research. We just need to get our ducks in a row. I just want to be strategic about this. I just don't want to waste any energy. I don't want to make a bad decision. Like, all of that sounds justifiable and reasonable, right? To our perfectionist brains. But what we do in PGSD is we shift your thinking through the tools that I talked about and through the coaching every week, whether you're there live and getting coached by me, or there live and listening to others getting coached, or you're listening to the coaching call replays, that has you be able to actually feel safe to go for it. Because if you don't feel safe to fully go for it, you're not going to get it. And so that is the piece that I wanted to talk to in this, that I think can just be so easily missing, that you have to feel safe to go for your business dreams, and your perfectionist brain fundamentally is not going to naturally feel that because of what I've been talking about, the way entrepreneurship works, the way your perfectionist brain works. Like, it's going to be like, no, like, I only want to go for this once I'm making enough money to invest in myself easily and from the business and all of that. Instead of like how I approached my university degrees was like, there's no guarantee I'm going to get a law job or like even like it. There's no guarantee I'm going to get a finance job or even like working in finance, but I'm willing to invest in my future without having expected the results of that investment to pay off yet. Like, as I said, I didn't expect to be able to pay for my law degree with money I'd made as a lawyer. I got money from elsewhere so that I could develop the skill sets to be able to then have a future where I can do that. And so if you have been like, I want to be in PGSD so badly, I just can't afford it, I just really want to invite you to see how you can't afford not to be in Perfectionists Getting Shit Done. We teach you how to go for it, which is absolutely fundamental. You're in a culture of courage, as Laura talks about in the episode tomorrow, of like other people who are going for it. And like, there are so many people who have ambitions and they're like, after this point in time, I'm going to really lock in and I'm going to really go for it. But there aren't that many people that you will come across day to day who are really going for it and who really get what that is like and what that entails emotionally, and then balancing that with your life, with your health and fitness and family, and maybe your hobby. I know perfectionists, we often like, I don't have hobbies, but being able to do that to me just wasn't a nice to have. Like, I got to the point where I was like, well, this dream's not going anywhere. And it is so painful to pretend with myself that I'm fully going for it, and to just keep like watching YouTube videos and like just listening to podcasts and learning stuff, but not fully going for it. And everything started to shift for me when I started getting the support that allowed me to fully go for it. And I invest in that support to this day. And I don't expect my business to have to pay for that first for me to be able to afford it. That if I need to, I get the money from elsewhere. And I really think that's so important, because I don't know where it's come from or like how it ends up, or if it's just a perfectionist brain that we're like, no, I want my business to be succeeding first, and then I'll invest in help that will help me succeed in my business. It's so backwards. And like, we in PGSD, we help perfectionists who are basically, typically, there are exceptions, but typically between making $0 and just getting started in their business to making a full-time income. And most of our PGSDs, their goal is to be able to make a full-time income from their business, whether they're working full-time hours or not. Like, I technically work part-time hours in my business, but make a full-time income. So like, that might be a goal that you have, that you want to be able to drop your kids off, drop your kids off at school and pick them up and be able to work from like 10 till 2 every day, like, and make a full-time income. That is so possible. But there is a risk to be able to get that reward. And in PGSD, we support you so that you can emotionally take that risk and you can have it actually pay off. And you can navigate the ups and downs instead of like being so scared of getting a refund request that you don't even sell at all. Or you can just shift your perfectionist thinking that has you so scared of getting a refund request and not being liked and all of that. So you can actually instead be in thinking where you can handle a refund request and don't spin out about it. It's like all the little shifts that happen in PGSD that just happen by listening to coaching calls, using the tools that I've talked about. All of those shifts allow you to go for it and to get it. And I just know that if you're watching this, something about this, like, you have a dream and it's not going anywhere. And like, for me, I just had to be willing to take the leap, even when my legs were shaking, and find the courage to go for it when my perfectionist brain was like, like, what if it doesn't work? All of that. My brain still loves to offer all of that because I'm still going for it. I'm still putting myself out there. My brain, it doesn't have as much weight anymore. And I'm like putting myself out there and like going for it in a much bigger way than I was ever able to go for it in the beginning. But like, I'm still in the thick of what we teach in PGSD and what I coach on. That's why I'm able to coach on it the way that I coach on it, because I'm not just like, oh, that must be so hard being scared of putting yourself out there and like, just, go on and tell your friends about it and just go live. Like, no, like what I'm doing right now was not like just not in the realm of what was possible for me when I started. I mean, it was in the realm of what was possible for me. It just didn't feel possible for me because of my fear, like all my perfectionist fears. And I am just still in the thick of the PGSD transformation, just like at the next level and the next level and the next level and the next level, so that I can just coach on it in such a deep way, in such a specific way. All the perfectionist fears, like I get them in my bones. I get them. I don't just like conceptually understand what it must be like to be scared to go for it. And what if it doesn't work out? And what if I run out of money? And like I get that in my bones from my own personal experiences and lots of painful experiences, like, and then being able to come out of that and get the lesson and coach on that. And like, I just want to invite you into PGSC to be able to go for your dream and to get it. That is what we are in the business of doing. Your perfectionist brain does not like you going for your dreams. It wants you to just be safe and be loved and just do what's expected and do the smart, responsible thing. And the smart, responsible thing is to invest money in a degree instead of betting on yourself and your potential that you have in business. And that's part of why our brains can be like, oh no, but it's different if I'm investing in university. It's like, oh no, it's just because as a society, we've said that's the safe, smart thing to do. And you identify as a like smart, responsible person. So then it doesn't bring up all this stuff to do it. But you just have different thoughts about investing in your business, that like maybe that's an irresponsible thing to do with my family's money, or like with money that could be paying the rent or the mortgage or any of that. But like, what I want to invite you into as your coach is that the most responsible thing you could do is fully go for it. Half-assing it, and speaking from experience, like as I said, I was so sick of pretending with myself that I was really going for it. And that me like learning all this stuff and like trying sporadically here and there, that was me going for it. I was like, I know I'm not fully going for it. And the most responsible thing I can do is to fully go for it, is to actually go all in. Because this half-assing it, which I know, depending how familiar you are with how I talk about perfectionism, it might sound like perfectionists don't half-ass things. Oh, we do. We half-ass things so that we can say, well, I would have done better if I'd actually tried. My business would be more successful if I'd actually gone for it. That's nice. But then if you want to live in that reality, you still have to work for someone else. You still have to like pay the bill somehow, and you're not doing it from your business because of the emotional risk. And this is like the deep perfectionist fear of like, what if I find out my best isn't good enough? So in PGSD, we support you emotionally And with all the tools I've mentioned, the growth goal, power planning, clean rest, safe visibility, momentum decisions, belief fuel, like all of that supports you to actually be able to be the person who can fully go for it without spinning out, without burning out, without like just freaking yourself out every time. So I want to invite you into PGSD. We are open for enrollment right now. We only open for enrollment a few times per year. If you have any questions, DM me. I am available to chat. DM me, send me an email, support@samlaurabrown.com. I've literally got it open. So every time someone emails me and I'm like, replying right away. So email me, DM me. There's nothing you can't say to me. Like, and this is what I love as a coach. Like, there's nothing you can't bring to me. So I want to invite you in. Doors are closing this Friday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on the 6th of February. As soon as you sign up, though, you get instant access and can start, like, you can come to the coaching call we have this week. It's about 48 hours from now. You can come to this week's coaching call live. You can be coached by me. You can get all the replays right away. Like, I sent out an email to every one of my email subscribers. Like, here are the first 5. And if you didn't get this, I can just DM you. Here are the first 5 coaching call replays to listen to today that you get access to within 10 minutes of signing up. That you can start already, like, getting this transformation of being someone who goes for it and actually gets it and is able to have the resilience to like roll with the punches and to handle life at the same time and keep going for it. So you get instant access as soon as you sign up. So if you know you want to be inside, just get yourself inside ASAP. And I'm here to answer any questions, to have a chat with you about it. If you have any specific questions about you, about the program and how you go together, just message me. That this is the most important thing. And there are not many people who will like go for your dreams and I can teach you how to actually get them. As a perfectionist who is so scared of putting yourself out there, who overthinks, who procrastinates, who is just so scared of making a mistake and making the wrong decision and investing time or money in the wrong thing. Like, this is my profession. This is what I do for a living. And I do it with a lot of passion and a lot of purpose and a lot of personal experience to teach me. And a lot of, at this point, we've had over 1,000 PGSDs that I have coached as well and done hundreds of coaching calls. So I get you deeply. I'm here to support you. I am here to cheer for you. I am here to guide you. I have walked the path. I can walk you through it too. Whether you want to be actively involved in the program and like on the coaching calls and posting, whether you want to be a lurker, like it's designed because a lot of perfectionists are lurkers and just like, I don't want to say the wrong thing or like all of that. You can be a lurker. A lot of our PGSDs at some point are like, I'm going to de-lurk, they call it, and I'm going to introduce myself now. So we always celebrate when a PGSD de-lurks, but you don't have to. And it's all designed regardless of how you want to interact with the PGSD program itself, that you can get what you came for, which is massive transformation, being able to be someone who goes for your dreams and gets them and has the resilience and the stamina and doing it in a way that's in alignment with your values. So this is it. Like, this is what I'm inviting you into, and I will keep inviting you. I will keep fighting for your business dreams and for you. I'm not going to stop fighting for you. I'm not going to stop inviting you into this. It's not just like a program. It's an identity, being a perfectionist who is getting shit done. Doing that without burning out, doing that in a way that works with your perfectionist brain instead of against it. Being someone who's up to something so that when you catch up with friends, like, how's your business going? If you've even told them, it's okay if you haven't. I get that too. I didn't for ages. But you're not just like, oh, I'm thinking about this and I'm planning to start this. It's like, oh, here's what I did and here's what I did and here's that and here's this. And like, it's just such a difference being someone who's up to something. If you feel like your relationships are a bit stale, it's probably because you're not up to something. You're like, same old, still dreaming and scheming, but not doing. Like, I know what it's like to be the person who's dreaming and scheming and not doing. and not feeling like I have someone to talk about my business dreams with and be like, I have these big dreams and I'm really scared. And to be able to be someone who's like, oh, yes. And this is what I love as well when I catch up with friends, and especially my business friends, where I get to like geek out on all the business things. I'm like, I did this and I did this. And I had friend, I had dinner with a business friend, a good business friend on Thursday night. And we talked about different struggles we were having. And then within 24 hours, I was like, I did this. Like, I did all the things we talked about. Even though when I talked to, I was like, I think this is what needs to be done. Anyway, I did it within 24 hours. Look, I am up to something and I love catching up with friends and being like, here's not from this place of like hustle, just like I'm up to something. I'm chasing my dream. I'm going for it. Here's what I've been doing. Like I did this, and instead of like, oh yeah, I've been researching this, or I've been thinking about that, or I've been learning this, like learning, researching, thinking, all great things. But there's a like, what's the saying of just basically like too much of a good thing is like too much. Like you don't need to research it forever. At some point, it's just comfort work, as I like to call it. We're just like wanting to feel productive, productively procrastinating and doing something that feels like it will get us to our dreams, but actually we're just doing it because we're scared. And like in PGSD, we just we like it's literally what the program is. For a perfectionist entrepreneur, if you're between making $0, you haven't made your first dollar yet, and between a full-time income, most PGSDs are working full-time or have kids like myself. I have 4 kids under the age of 5, including twins. So if you have that going on, if you have health stuff, if you're a shift worker, like we've got it all in PGSD. This, like your dream matters so much. And if no one else is fighting for your dream, or if anyone else is fighting, like it will be me. I will be here fighting for your business dream. And the best place I can do that is in PGSD, where I can coach you and support you. And even if you're not wanting to be on the calls live, you don't have to be. You can get all of that through listening to me coach everyone who's got the same kind of brain and who also thinks I'm in their head too. Like I can just, and I read everything in the PGSD forum. I'm in it with you, guiding you. I've walked the path. I want to walk you through it too. So I really want to invite you into PGSD. Oh my God, if you have a business dream and you're sick of pretending with yourself, like I was, and I was like, I'm sick of pretending to myself that I'm actually fully going for it. I know I have so much more potential than this. I know I have that potential. I need help to reach it. I'm going to actually get myself the help. I'm going to invest in that. I'm going to invest time. I'm going to invest money in that. I'm going to invest energy in that, because I know that as scared as I am, it's always going to be in my heart to try. So let's just actually figure out how to get me to try. And that has been my journey. And now that is what I teach people how to do. And I'm continuing to do that, just at like more advanced levels of that. So I love people talking about luck. Is if you have a question while I'm here, I mean, I've got the time. Yes. So I said, lol, lurkers. Oh my God, so true. Can we join slowly or do little by little if we're not ready to commit to all the work right away? Yeah, like we meet you exactly where you are. So you sign up, get yourself inside PGSD, step 1. And then really like and this is what I was saying with the interview with Laura that goes out tomorrow, that how we operate in PGSD, we don't go like, feel the fear and do it anyway and any of that stuff. Like we have the culture of courage, and courage like inherently means you are feeling fear in your body while you're taking action. And what we teach you to do is, while you're also feeling the fear, to feel other emotions too, to feel powerful, to feel purposeful, to feel connected. That's like the biggest one, feeling connected. We don't teach you to just motor through and power through and push through. We teach you and support you to support yourself to do the courageous things that you want to and are willing to do. So we meet you exactly where you are and support you with exactly like with doing what feels not like basically like we support you to do what for you is a courageous thing that you actually want to do, not like, here's what you have to do. I hope that makes sense. It just like cut out for a second there. But question, do you have students that don't do coaching, businesses, etc., and completely different niches, for example, software development, etc.? I've always wanted that. Yes, 100%. So there are coaches in PGSD because of what I teach. I naturally also attract coaches, but the majority of PGSDs aren't coaches. So we have, oh my God, everything, but like a lot of creatives as well, also software developers, like that kind of business, 100%, artists and painters, writers, designers, like graphic designers. I'm just thinking who else we got, YouTubers as well. I'm trying to think through like specific PGSDs. We have like just about every kind of business that you could possibly have. Let me look at my screen here. I have my like screensaver on my computer is like all PGSD faces. So I'm just like looking around at everyone. There's just so many different, like an educational consultant, like there's just so many different kinds of entrepreneurs in PGSD because it's not, and as I said, like coaches are naturally attracted to what I do because if a lot of coaches value getting coached and like my approach and want to work with me and want what I have to offer. But what we're talking about in PGSD isn't how to be a coach. It's giving you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner who has perfectionism coming up, giving you the coaching tools and support to be able to get out of your own way. So we aren't talking about like, here's what to do if you have a coaching business and you can make that work for yourself if you don't. It's just like every entrepreneur is dealing with entrepreneurship plus perfectionism and also life circumstances going on. And so that is what we coach on. And also when you get coached, we do coach you specifically on your business because that is how the real coaching that needs to happen comes up. And then everyone, I hope this is making sense, like you apply it to your own situation because what we're looking at is the thoughts and feelings behind what you're doing, not like, okay, say this in that email or whatever. It's like, okay, how are you thinking and feeling? So when you get coached by me, we go into the details of everything as if you're one-on-one on a call with me. And then I always make it universal to everyone in PGSD. And it's just so helpful for me. That part of the reason I coach entrepreneurs and not just coaches is because the way that I learn and what we teach in PGSD is business first principles rather than like strategies and tactics. It's like the fundamentals of business mechanics and how a business works and how a business grows, because that's how I think. And how I learned that is through obviously my own experience in coaching so many entrepreneurs in different industries, but also through listening to so many different kinds of entrepreneurs getting coached and also talking about their experiences, that I can see the like fundamental principle so clearly when it's a different kind of business to what I have. If I had the same kind of business, my perfectionist brain just wants to go into like, okay, what's the strategy? And I should do the strategy. But what we teach in PGSE is what's the thinking that creates the result you want. It's not positive thinking, like that kind of thing. But what's the thinking that has you being connected, that has you showing up and taking consistent action without burning out and without going against your values and like shifting into that. And it's just oftentimes when someone has a completely different business circumstance to you and you're not trying to do the same thing, you can see the first principle and the concept, like the fundamental business mechanic, so much more clearly than if you're also doing that same kind of business and you're like, oh, I should try that strategy. Like what we're looking at is, and the interview yesterday that went out with Megan on my podcast called New Beliefs, New Results, was talking about specifically, she kept her strategy the same and shifted her perfectionist thinking and got completely different results from the same strategy. So we're always looking at like the perfectionist thinking and feeling and shifting that, and also holding space, like an emotional processing and like holding space for, it's not wrong to think those thoughts. Like we're not trying to stop being a perfectionist. We just want to instead focus on being connected, being able to be growth minded, where you literally like fundamentally believe it's better to have tried and failed than to have never tried at all. Perfectionists, we're like, it's better to not try than to fail. I love learning, but I'd rather not try than fail. Well, if you love learning, you'd rather try. And that's what we want to shift into. It's like actually aligning your real identity that you have. If you love learning, that fundamentally means you want to learn, and the best way to learn is through experience. But if you're scared to go for it because of your perfectionist brain's fears of like, what if I don't get it? And what if I'm not loved? You're not learning. You're just understanding concepts. So in PGSD, it's called Perfectionists Getting Shit Done for a reason. We get shit done. We're like doing the thing, going for it, having that belief fuel to drive you and keep you going, because entrepreneurship is a long-term endeavor. It's not like do this for a month and now you have a successful business forevermore. That's just not the game. And I don't want to ever pretend that that is the game of entrepreneurship and business, because it simply isn't. No matter who you look at for entrepreneurship, that is just fundamentally, it's not a game where you just like get the A plus and you have the A plus forever. There is so much resilience required, and our perfectionist brains just want to go straight into disheartenment and despair. And nobody likes me and nobody wants this and it's not worth the effort. So you've got like, we got to retrain your brain. We got to have you thinking differently. And that's fundamentally what we do in PGSD. I hope that answers the question. I'm just chatting on about it. Let me just see if there are any others. If you have any more questions, please ask. DM me, voice message me, email me. Let me just scroll through and see. I think that's everyone's questions. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. I will wrap up. Oh, I do have one more question. I'm so glad it's helpful. Does PTSD help those who freeze up or do no action when they get in those fears / stressful states of their business? We know what to do, but I will ignore it entirely for a week. Yes, because that is my response. I go into a freeze response. Like when I'm scared of stuff, I just go into this like avoidant freezing. So yes, we 100%, because that is literally like when I started my blog, I was like, and I didn't do anything for like 3 months. So like if it's for a week, amazing. That like you're further along than I was. Like for me, it was I started my blog, didn't tell a soul about it. So embarrassing, so embarrassed by myself, and to even mention it with anyone in my real life, how embarrassing. So that was where I was at. And then I literally didn't do anything for 3 months. I stopped listening to anything inspired. I was just like, I just can't even believe I did that. So for me, like my perfectionist brain, when my perfectionism handbrake is on, this is why it's getting shit done, because my response to perfectionism is I'm not gonna do shit. I'm gonna like hold back and withhold effort, either through procrastination or through overthinking or through like all or nothing thinking of like, I need to get this perfect or it's not worth doing at all. So yes, 100%. If you freeze up, we get you unfrozen in PTSD. And I've had experiences, so many experiences. It's not just like, oh, I unfroze myself and then I just carried on. I have had many times where my perfectionism handbrake has come on and I've frozen and I've had to unfreeze myself. So I know that work on such a deep level. And to be clear, I'm not talking about the kind of freezing that would be more for therapy where it's like you're not able to function. This is more like a functional freeze where you're still like looking like a functioning person, like doing things, but you're just not doing the needle movers. So that's why in PGSD, I haven't even mentioned needle movers this whole time. But in PGSD, one of the core concepts, and this comes into your growth goal and your power planning, also helps with your clean rest, is we focus on needle movers, which are the tasks and projects. We also teach you momentum projects that move you towards your goal. And so what happens to me is when I freeze, I go into comfort work instead of needle movers. So what we teach you to do is when you freeze, first of all, we teach you how to shift your perfectionist thinking. So there's a lot less freezing happening to begin with and a lot less shame. Like if you get a refund request, the perfectionist brain response is to go to shame. So we teach you how to think differently as well. So you don't, in the first instance, even go into the feelings that then you are freezing up because you're trying to avoid them or like not having the capacity to handle those feelings. And also, you will have times where you feel ashamed or rejected or any of those feelings. And we teach you how to unfreeze yourself and get going again and have that time frozen get shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. So that for me, for example, now I can be like frozen for like a day if it's a big thing and then unfreeze myself and move on. Instead of, and a lot of things that would make me freeze in the past definitely don't make me freeze at all anymore. So it's like having the perfectionist thinking shift so you have less freezing. And then when there is something that comes up that makes you freeze, the frozen time is shorter. And you're also able to keep, and this power planning super supports with this, to keep doing the needle movers. And if you are noticing, like with power planning, you're able to notice yourself going into comfort work and then do something about it. But when we're working from a to-do list and like all of that, it's just so hard to even notice when you're in the comfort work because it feels so comfortable. We want to be in that. So in PGSE, we teach you and support you and coach you and give you the tools to be able to know exactly what your needle movers are. That's even the first thing that can make us freeze is like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I know I want to have a full-time income. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to focus on. Like that alone, that like feeling overwhelmed and incapable makes us freeze. So all the tools, growth goal, power planning, like they all support you to know exactly what to do and that it is a needle mover. And then it all like is all designed to support you to and does. If you go to our like the PGSC page, you can see all the testimonials and videos from people as well about their own experiences, but has you actually do needle movers instead of the comfort work. And like we have PGSCs who come in and it sounds dramatic, but they're like, I've done more in the last 2 weeks than the last 2 years, not because there's something in this spurt of motivation and they're powering through, but because of the shift in their thinking, they could finally just show up and do the things that they've been putting off for so long, like the real needle movers. And that feels like such a sense of momentum because it is building momentum. Wow, I wouldn't mind a day only of freezing. I'd be so much more productive. Yeah. Bottom line, yes, you would be. Okay, so I recommend you join. I highly recommend you join. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up because I could be here all day. And I probably will be back later. I'll probably be inspired and just want to jump on and chat. But my pleasure. I will carry on with the other things that I want to do with my other needle movers. Well, this wasn't even a planned one. This is why Power Play is flexible because I didn't plan to go live. I just started my self coaching. I was like, oh my God, I have to talk. I have stuff I just want to say and I just want to say it. So here we are an hour later. I'll probably put this on the podcast as well so that everyone can listen to it. But yeah, okay, I'm going to wrap up. Yes, I will go live. If you have any topics you want me to do and talk about specifically, I mean, I've got all the things I want to say about everything. So I love getting requests. So send me a request. I hope to see you inside PGSC. And for everyone here, I hope this has been really helpful. And for everyone, I hope to see you in PGSD. Like your dream matters so much. It matters so, so deeply. And if you're like me and you know that you would always have that dream on your heart, no matter how much your perfectionist brain is trying to convince you it'll never work or that you won't get there. But if you just know, like, this is going to be on my heart and I'm just like, I want to really just go for it, join us. Do I do a weekly podcast? Yes, I just went up to 2 episodes a week, actually. So the Perfectionism Project. If you go on any of my posts or like DM me the word pod, POD, you'll get the link to my podcast. But yes, and I highly recommend if you're going to listen to my podcast, listen to the 5-part personal development series that I just did. If you like this, you're going to love that. I think it starts at episode 582 or 583. And then you want to listen to the interview that I did with Megan. And then I want you to listen to, just join PGSC first. But I was like, to all our PGSCs on last week's call, I was like, you want to be listening to every single thing going out of my podcast. So listen to Megan's interview, New Beliefs, New Results, and listen to the interview that's coming out tomorrow with Laura. I can't remember what I called the episode. What did I call it? Oh, doing big, brave things with the support of the PGSD community, something like that. You want to listen to that. Like if you love this, if this is all speaking to you, that will all just speak deeply to you, and you can just like go and listen to me all day, listen to the 5 parts and the deep dive into it all. So I think that's a good place to wrap up. Yes. 5-part personal development series, interview with Megan, and then interview with Laura. Yeah. So it'll be literally from the first part of the 5-part series. So 582, if that's it, then it will be all the episodes after that to listen to that. They're all going to be perfect for you. Okay. I'm wrapping up. Thank you to everyone for being here. I hope this has been helpful. I assume it has, hence why you're still here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, so that was my Instagram live. I hope you found it incredibly helpful. The doors to Perfectionists Getting Shit Done are closing very, very soon at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time this Friday, the 6th of February. So to join us inside the program and to start going for your business dreams, join us at samlaurabrown.com/PGSD today.